This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Fox News has a penchant for supporting anyone who poses some kind of a speed bump for Joe Biden. It's kind of the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of a thing, and that's where we are right now with Robert Kennedy Jr. That's how it is right now. Wait until it really gets revealed that he's cutting into Donald Trump's chances at the presidency, and it's going to be an all-out assault on RFK Jr. And as well it should be, he's a dangerous kook. Jesse Watters yesterday took aim at the interview that I talked about yesterday between Aaron Burnett and RFK Jr., where RFK Jr., like the absolute buffoon that he is, said that Joe Biden actually poses more of a threat to democracy than Donald Trump. Hey, don't worry about Donald Trump. He's fine. The guy who attempted to overthrow the United States government to stay in power, to overturn a free and fair election. Don't worry about him. That's not where the threat to democracy comes. It's Joe Biden, who ran a straight-up campaign, won, and is now governing. It's him. He's the threat. And Jesse Watters did not like this line of questioning. He did not like pushback against his second favorite guy, RFK Jr. And he went on a little rant on his stupid little show, The Five, and said some real choice things. Prepare yourselves.
For negotiation. He knows how to do this. You've seen the results. Yeah, I watched that on CNN. That was the stupidest interview I've ever seen. So he goes on there and they ask him about who's a bigger threat to democracy. First of all, no one's talking about that. And he says, well, Joe Biden censored me and he's not giving me Secret Service protection. And instead of the host arguing with him or saying whatever she wanted, they bring in a little measly fact checker after the thing was wrapped. And then they say, well, actually, Joe Biden didn't personally censor RFK, and he didn't personally deny Secret Service. Okay, so they're saying Joe Biden doesn't have anything to do with the actions that the Biden administration is taking? That's what we're doing now. If anybody talks to me about democracy again, I'm going to shoot myself in the head.
Democracy, 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 democracy. Democracy, democracy. Democracy? Democracy. It's like an acting class where you go, I've seen this on TV, where you go through and you have to have a conversation. There was a scene in The Sopranos where you had to have a conversation. Little Chris Moltisanti, where he had a conversation with one word or a sound or something. It's like that. Democracy. Jesse Watters. No one is talking about the threat that Donald Trump poses to democracy. No one. Well, RFK seemed to be talking about it with Aaron Burnett. I talk about it on a regular basis. Democracy. Because it's important. The preservation of our republic can only happen through the preservation of democracy. Jesse Watters. I don't hear any gunshots. They will minimize the threat that Donald Trump poses. And if it takes supporting a candidate who's running against Donald Trump, they'll do that because it's just that important for them to have their fascist dear leader, Donald Trump, remain in power, remain in the political zeitgeist in America. And Jesse Watt, I mean, listen, if this is your guy, if this is the best you got as an ally, as someone to be your spokesperson, is Jesse Watters, you got problems deep, the width and breadth of which I just can't quantify. But this is where we are in America today. You've got two political parties, two real political parties, not independent or Green Party or whatever nonsense RFK Jr. happens to be aligned with right now. And one, the Republican Party, is absolutely dedicated to the prospect of destroying democracy. And it's not whispers anymore. It's not behind the curtain. It's not just subtle voter suppression tactics or gerrymandering. It's literal ending of democracy, attempting to reassert extra-constitutionally and anti-democratically a candidate who lost, have them retake office again. That's where we are. And Fox News, rather than stand for democracy, rather than use their constitutionally protected role as the free press, because they're not, they do this. They stand in the gap for the fascist. They stand in the gap for the authoritarian. They stand in the gap for the criminal. 91 felony counts across 4 separate indictments. That's their guy. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be, because this has been the lead up that we've been witnessing since 1996 when Fox News came on the scene. Jesse Waters, bring it in. Democracy. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail. Is everybody getting the joke here? Getting the joke? 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. If you appreciate what I do, if I bring you value, please consider supporting this work, helping this channel grow, helping support making the content that I do. You can click the join button below this video on YouTube, become a channel member for $2 a month. You can go over to my Patreon page, the same giving mechanism. Patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Those are great ways to help support. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore everywhere. I'd love to see you there. And I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.